Okay, 6 right, 5 down in darkness. Getting some interesting results with some of these jars here. You might even be able to make an Eden Black or something like that. So yeah, very interesting. So I'm just working it down, finding the. See, that's too far. That's too much. But this one, I think this one might just be the right strength to do both growth and coloration. So we'll see how we go with that one. Okay, back to normal focus. Well, they've all seemed to have survived. So, yeah, so that's something anyway. So it just shows you there is consistency. You can get away with these sort of things. So if I go to spot colour and take the lens hood off, we'll have a quick squeeze at some of these. So, but have you noticed though that they all seem to be paler in colour, less green? All these ones, and the colour in here seems to be a little different. All the traps that are open now are staying sort of. I don't know. The new growth does look slightly more. I wouldn't say robust. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, the traps are staying closed, so interesting. As I said, it's lost that sort of, I don't know, remember when they first started growing, they had a sort of a more whitish green, waxy look to them sort of thing, so whether that's going to be coming back, I don't know, but a lot more insects interested in the pot. Even had a spider on the other side and things like that, so might be a good sign. This one hasn't died, so that's something. So nor is this one. So this was the worst one from yesterday, wasn't it? Chalk one's nearly ready to go to have a second go at it. So we're going to get some result. Yeah, it wasn't the best of the first thing, but you got to try, fellas. And this one, it seems to have lost that green look it has now. So so does the. Well, I think we do know. Oh, the other thing is, I had to say is, did you notice? How these collapsed really quickly and first, and yet the CPs didn't seem to collapse until it didn't seem to be affected so much, except for that one there, until we did the flush out, the out flush. So which was rather strange. They seem to be affected after. Yeah, we put the salt through and we were doing the flush. So yeah, that was interesting. So they all seem to be a little bit paler. This one was knocked around a little bit, and again the traps are staying sort of closed, so we'll see if we get a response from this. This one over here, which we didn't sort, this is the egg one. Yeah, it looks like it is actually going to make a move, so I'm probably going to have to set up another one with the full, 1-to-1 egg and universal surfactant. So yeah, back to normal focus for the time being. But when you water it, it gives off this odour. It's probably the worst, toad. It's worse than toe jam again. It's the worst halitosis smell I think you've probably ever smelt in your life, sort of thing. And that's only from 4 eggs, basically. Spread between that and that one over there, sort of thing. So if I do one that's 1-to-1, I don't know what it's going to smell like. I mean, it's going to probably have to have a force field on it about a mile wide or something. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to set up in a different part of the garden so no one asks any dumb questions or anything like that, just to see how it works and how long it's going to take to get there. I don't know. Hasn't greened at all, but if we go to the soil vault, and pull out the better put this back on. So it might be important. Yeah, fellas, you need a better system. It's crap. It takes too long to put on and put off. Back to the workshop on that one. So we had these ones that we set up in egg and sand and stuff, and we did get. No, I probably do need the spot colouring in. even though it's somewhat dried out now, we had coloration. We had greening at the top, we had the pinking, redding down the bottom sort of thing, and then we had this one where we played around putting some polystyrene in to generate some reductive flammable gas, and we really did get reddening there, so as you can probably see, so quite interesting. I'll fix those up in a minute. So I don't know how we did time those. They did take quite a while to actually redden, so but that was only with one egg. But then they're smaller containers, aren't they? That's only 2.4. So so we are running on the same sort of scale. 4 eggs to 1 egg, it's the same. This is like four of those, and we've got 4 eggs. So it should run to the same sort of time, I would say. So we'll see how we go. But it's surviving, even though it's giving off, when you water it, it gives off the worst smell of halitosis you've ever smelled in your life. Somewhat sort of beachy, seawatery sort of as well. So anyway. Let's get my hat and go down. Might even need my sunnies too, it's getting that bright. And I was just getting an idea with those leaves in the, we're working up like a new form of tissue culture if we can, but this coloration in the traps, you might be able to go down the Eden Black route sort of thing. So if we take these off, and I think we are on spot colour still, probably a bugger. Okay. So these traps here, I reckon you'd be able to darken those to almost black, I reckon. But we're gonna probably try it out eventually. But that leaf over there was quite nice. Still going, the leaf's developing there. This one over here is still going. But I said that's giving me the idea. I would say that's probably the best flytrap I've ever grown in my life, actually. For consistency. I do like the being on the seaside. Yeah, I do like the look of the. I just like the Flatlander look sort of thing, that's why I like perps. I think trying to get Gaudio into Flatlanders. They all seem to be into these tall ones, but I like a good perp. Isn't that right, Ringo? I like a good perp. So got to be honest, I like a good perp. Yeah, I just like the way they sit, and especially things like Louis Burke's. I think the way they sit in the sand sort of thing. So this one's like starting to make a resurgence. I think they all are sort of things. So give it another 7 weeks as we get to the 3rd week of February, and we might see something. But by then I would have done some other experiments and gone to. I'll see if I can actually get. Pour something through the pot and turn the traps into almost Eden Black sort of looking, so the red gets darker and darker, gets to that sort of Braywood look. If you've probably seen the JPEGs of Bray, I think they're the darkest red I think I've ever, the sort of most darkest red I've seen, the most intense red I think is the word I've ever seen. So let's see if we can do that and take it to that. I've noticed someone, who's the bloke online that has the black gloves? He's chucked up I think it's a Lowy eye. Was it a Lowy eye? Yeah, Lowy eye, I think. And the top part of it is jet black. It's true charcoal black. And I'm thinking, yeah, they're all doing something, aren't they? It's all this Eden Black. It's all this Eden Black business. I mean, it's all started with the royal red that didn't stay red. You got the red capes that don't stay. Well, they're very. I don't know. When you get them, they're sort of purpley red. Probably, maybe that's the way you do it. You go from here and you go backwards and you take a red cape and turn it black. Maybe that's the way, and say, they're definitely doing something. You're buying these things, and unless you do what they do, it's not going to stay red. And it's if you knew what they were doing, you could do it even more. And just before they die, they're going to go black. I mean, can you imagine how hot the leaves are going to get when they're black in our Australia or our bloody southern Abbottland sun? You know, it's just like X-rays and the third week of February, and you know, be 46 during the day, if not more, 47 maybe. We'll get a 48. I don't know. Getting a few weird years. I say we had the last year, because Happy New Year, by the way, New Year's Day. Last year, in 2017, we had the driest June, warmest winter on record since 1839, since records were kept in 1839. So, yeah, so I quite like this leaf. Even though the end got chopped off, it's sort of like repaired it. I don't know, it seems to have repaired itself. So, I don't know what chopped it off. Maybe someone wanted to see if it would draw my attention and I would notice. But yeah, it got the end of it, and it seemed to like repaired itself. Is it a bit like with children? When if your children used to lose a bit of a finger, they can actually grow it back when they're young. I think it's between the ages of 0 and under 5. I think they say. If you're under 5 or something, or is it under 3? I can't remember what the date is, but yeah, if you lose part of a finger, you can actually grow it back. Apparently, you know, these are facts I would like people should know. You know, but they're facts that don't seem to be readily available. Maybe they just don't want to give you They don't want to give you false hope. Is that what it is? Oh, and this one's starting to grow. So what is it, fellas? You know. Is it just we burn out the hormones in certain soils faster than we do in other soils? So we burn out on whatever they're doing in the old back end of the greenhouse sort of thing, these commercial places. And the sooner you burn it out, the faster you get into normal growth. Normally, first of all, one, you barely can keep the plant alive if you're lucky, and two, you got to wait a whole season and. I mean, surely these are getting enough sun. I was thinking the other day, maybe they're just not getting enough sun, but Jesus, is it photo period rather than intensity? I mean, either that or they're definitely doing something, I think, fellas. But anyway, I think this is it's the old bloody pipe thing again. Can't see the bugger. If I can move the pot out without breaking it, as you can probably see down there, it's starting to thicken up, and I think it's going to make a move sort of thing, and we might get some movement from the fly traps in there, and if we can get the bloody camera to get in there. Oh well, I'm trying, fellas. Okay, but still, it's running equal with the in there with the if I can move this pot without this breaking it sort of thing. Yeah, it's running about equal, so there's no real point of using peat when you can get away with cheap cat litter, I would say. It takes a little time to get going, but yeah. So anyway, and that one looks like it's going to make a move, and that's between the bark chips, the sand, and the newspaper cellulose. So it may be a case of just mixing your bark chips in with your sand, sort of thing, leaving out the newspaper cellulose. But as I say, it seems to be, with about less than 2 minutes on the car, if you can keep your peat and your newspaper cellulose down to a sixth or less, you seem to get better results. So why is that, fellas? You know, if you keep it down to what is it? So yeah, and as we learn from this, it seems like it comes up from under, it goes through the sand, and I just wonder, is it like nematodes? You double flush, they come up to escape being drowned, and they get roasted in the sun, and their nitrogen, I suppose, and other components get locked into the soil, and then the plants via mycorrhizae, etc. That's how they get the food source sort of thing, you know. So that's partly what the double flush is doing. It's bringing all those organisms to the surface, and they get roasted. They have to go to the surface, otherwise they die. But when they do get to the surface, they do die. Well, some of them do anyway, if the water's there for long enough, you sort of mean. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Let's go to spot colouring on this one, if I can get there fast enough before that card runs out. 30 seconds on the card. That one's terrible, that one is, compared to this one over here. That's really, I quite like that for a seedling. It's not bad, I suppose. A seedling, oh, yeah, a small plant, put it that way. Anyway, that's about it, fellas. I'll try something in the next week or so once I've got the levels worked out, and we might get a bit of a surprise. Maybe I'll turn a couple of traps to Eden black sort of colour. That would be really interesting. Okay, over and out. See ya.